Hello, my name is Doris and I am Little Bird Products. Welcome back if you've been here before, and thank you for joining us if you're new here. And please subscribe, it really helps the channel. What I want to do today is talk a little bit about my t-shirt maxi dresses that I'm making and what I've learned. I did a video a couple of weeks ago and showed you a little tutorial of how I made one of them. It was not a super long maxi dress. It was just knee length, a little bit below. I'm about 5'2", 5'2.5" if I stretch it. So it just came slightly below my knees. But what I really have been working on is trying to make maxi dresses, ones that come down to your ankles. And boy, I really have been struggling with them a little bit. I know they're easy to make, but when you upcycle things, sometimes it's just not as easy as making things from a pattern. You have to make things fit the way they are. And I think part of the reason I was struggling is I have learned that for me, I can't start it out the way I normally do. Normally, I have a shirt. If I make a t-shirt tunic or a shorter dress, I have an inspiration shirt. Like the first one I made, the blue one with Donald Duck on the front, the Donald Duck t-shirt was the inspiration. And then I made two that were maxi this last week, and on Wednesday I had them included in that video, and I'll include them at the end here so if you didn't watch that or didn't get a chance to see it. And I do have those two listed in my shop, and by the time you see this video I will have one more that I'm finished making today and took pictures of, and I'll include in this video, so they'll be in the shop. And I got a new category in there, dresses. So things that are longer than a tunic and you could wear as a dress, I'm going to put over into that category. And back to how I made life difficult for myself. When I do a tunic, I do start with an inspiration piece. Well, what I'm finding with these, because the largest amount of material isn't in the shirt, it's in the dresses that I put with it to make the maxi dress. Like these are for my next dress, and this is a really cute dress. It's got ruffled on the bottom, and then this other one is an orange. It's got some tie-dye on it that's white, and the oranges kind of go together. It's orange and white. So what I'm trying to do now is to be a little smarter and start with the skirt pieces, because on the one that you'll see here that I just made, it took approximately 4 t-shirts plus the inspiration base shirt. And again, I started from a base shirt, and that's the one. It says somebody's problem, and it has a skeleton cow head, steer head on the center, and it's kind of a westerny rodeo type. And I like the pinks, so it's my pink. My other one was blue, the blue family, and red. So other than the blue and the red, now I have a pink one, and then I'll have an orange one. I'm trying to get through some of the base colors, brighter colors for summertime. Although these are a little heavier dress, so you would want to wear them in the evening when it's a little cooler, or in the morning. Well, if you're like me and you're warm all the time. But they're pretty comfortable. And the skirt, even though there's a lot of material there, it's lighter weight in t-shirts, and it's kind of swingy, and I like it. So I've been playing around with ruffling the bottom, doing some triangles, godets, because I had some t-shirt pieces already cut, because I used to make dresses with inside-out stitching and that had triangles at the bottom. So I was playing around with that, so there wasn't as much material around the waist, but it flared out at the bottom, and I'm liking how that turned out. So I'm discovering some new things about it, and hopefully they'll get a little easier to make. There was a lot of sewing and a lot of serging, because even though they're t-shirts and they don't fray, I like to serge them, because I think it strengthens the seams, to have them serged like that. So we'll see with this orange one, because I need to take it out where I store my graphic tees and go sort through them and find one that has a lot of the oranges and lighter colors in it. I know I have one. I saw one of my cubbies. I tried to do it by size before, and I'm discovering that I should have done it by color. So one of my, after the craft show season, projects will be to go through all of the cubbies of my graphic t-shirts and sort them again by color group, because that's the way I think of things, not so much sizes, because as you'll see with this shirt, the bodice of this shirt, it started out just to be a medium. It might have been a large, but anyway, I put pieces of a black t-shirt in the sides, and I made them triangled at the bottom, so it's wider at the bottom, and it increased the size of it, so it fits me comfortably now. And I couldn't really get it on, without scrunching everything up before. And I like putting those insets in of one of the primary colors of the shirt, and black was that color. Besides that, I think it's slimming when you have that black down the sides. And the sleeves, I think it must have been a large, because the sleeves fit me really nice. And I left the sleeves a little longer. They're not quite 3/4 length, but a lot of ladies like to have a little more sleeve. I like sleeveless, or I like just a little quarter sleeve, but I decided to leave the sleeves on this because they're a little larger and they fit pretty comfortable on me. Although my arms aren't super big, they're large enough that I normally fit the sleeves of an extra large or a 2X, pretty comfortably. So that's my saga of what I've been working on all week, I should say the majority of the week, to try and get this dress finished. And I do like the way it turned out. I'm hoping that these maxi dresses sell the way I'm making them, because I am making them a little different. I did do these first 3 with t-shirts. My graphic tees are a little dressier tees. They're not just a t-shirt with the short sleeves. They either have long sleeves or 3/4 sleeves. And I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not I'm going to leave the sleeves like that on them. When I take the sleeves off, I tend to like to make pockets out of the sleeves, and this dress has 2 pockets. The other one I made, the blue one, has 1 pocket, and it's in the seam pocket, and it was one that I was able to retain when I upcycled the 3 dresses that I made it out of. So they are a little, I was hoping to be able to sell these, for $59, but I think I'm going to have to up the price on them because they take so much material, and I don't even know if these 2 dresses here are going to be enough to make this next maxi dress. I think I might have to find another dress to put in with it. I've been making them so they're just slightly shorter in the front. I mean, they're still longer than a tunic length in the front, but they're pretty long in the back. They're like 40 I think it was 40 inches in the front and 50 inches in the back. So they have a nice, high-low and to them. And I like the way that came out. And that was just kind of happy chance because I put the ruffle on the front that was part of the bottom of the t-shirt, the graphic t-shirt. And I was able to retain that and use that for the ruffle on the front. So I kind of like doing that because it lets me, as you know, harvest and keep and use every piece of the t-shirt. So no t-shirt and no piece of the dresses went to waste on these. And I did do a little bit of patchwork on the bottom part of the hem, and I kind of liked the way that worked too because it let me have, in essence, a 12-inch ruffle on the bottom of the dress. So it's been a journey, and I'm hoping that they'll start getting easier and faster. So I'm going to make the orange one, and then I'm probably going to make at least 1, hopefully 2 more, if I can get faster at making them and not have them take me a week to make one dress. And I'm sure all of you that have sewn and made something for the first time, first time always takes a little longer. And I have to just speed my little self up. And I don't know why I think I have to speed myself up, but I enjoy making things, and the more I can make in a week, the happier I am. So let me know what questions you have. Let me know if you like these maxi dresses and would you wear one of them? Would you wear a maxi dress? I probably wouldn't unless it was in the dead of winter here in Texas because it's just a little too much fabric for me. And I prefer, wearing my tights, my pants. I like things loose and flowy. I might have to make one for me, but I'll make it a little different, I think. Maybe I'll just make it out of some cotton, lightweight cotton that I have. Like this tunic is made out of really lightweight cotton, and I like that. It's got a ruffle on the bottom, and so I enjoy making those. So maybe I'll make one of those for me next week. Maybe I'll do the bodice with pieces. I do have some pieces of t-shirt left over the top. Maybe I'll try that and try it with cotton and see how it comes out. And, it's like, anything that I'm trying out and a test pattern, I usually try it on myself. And I wear this a lot, so I know that I like the way this is made, and I can just put it on over the top of a tank and, some pants. And it's nice, it's acceptable, it looks acceptable to go to the grocery store. And even my daughter the other day, when I had it on, she says, "Oh, Mom, did you make that?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why? Do you not like it?" She goes, "No, I like it, it's cute, I like that material." So, that to me, that's a super stamp of approval, because normally she doesn't like ruffles, she doesn't like lace, she doesn't like lots of patterns, all of the things I do. It's not her jam, not her things. So when I upcycle something for her, and I do that, she does ask her mom to do stuff for her. I have to follow her instructions. She says, when you get to the point where you feel like it needs to have lace or more frou-frou stuff on it, stop. So, it's just the way it is. So I hope you had a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye. I have looked around and I found this graphic tee that I had in my stash, and I hung it up, and it's a larger size, which I like, and it's lightweight, so I'm going to leave the sleeves as they are. And if you'll see, it's already got kind of a high-low tunic effect, and I measured my other maxi dresses to see how much space I had when I cut it. One of them was 20 inches down, and then it was all the way up to like 15 inches down. And normally it's between 15 and 17 inches is what I try to cut this at. And so what I did is I measured where all the bling is. I don't know if you can see that, all the sparkle. And when I came down to here, it's about 17 inches. And I like that. And I like the fact that it has a V-neck, because that means, it can fit more sizes, and it is stretchy. So what I'm thinking is, if I cut this off and kind of keep the asymmetric look, I like that where it's a little shorter in the front and longer in the back. And then what I'll do is use this piece that I've cut off probably as a ruffle to elongate the front, because here are the pieces, the completer pieces, these two dresses, and this other little, it's a throw that I have, that I like those oranges, and I like the way they go together. So what I'm going to do is cut the tops off the dresses. This one is sleeveless, and the other one is also just a sleeveless, and I'll keep those pieces to help make pockets with. And then that will help me know what to do to upcycle this. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do those pieces. So what I'm going to do is cut this off first. I'll serge both pieces, and then I will start cutting and pinning up these dresses. I like to have everything pinned up, measure it, see how it looks before I put it together. And I'm thinking I might cut these in half so I can alternate every other piece. I can do that, or what I can do is say I'll use one dress for the back and the other dress for the front. So we'll see once I get the tops cut off and get it pinned up, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. The mannequin for what it potentially would look like. I put the more solid piece of orange with a white tie-dye on it around the back, and then what I cut off the front of the t-shirt I put on the bottom to make it longer. But what I'm thinking about doing is I'm going to cut that strip in half, because it doesn't go all the way across the bottom, to make it longer. And it is, you know, pretty long, a little longer than what I wanted. So if I cut it in half, then it'll go all the way across for a ruffle on the bottom of this. And then this is the front, and this is where they meet. But now that ruffle, remember that ruffle is going to bring it down longer in the back here. And then this is the front, which I'm pretty pleased with. You know, there's a ruffled front. It's, you know, not pinned evenly, but it would be evenly. So now what I'm not sure about is, should I have the ruffles in the back with that? What I can do to extend the hem like this is I have some white lace over here. This piece of lace, I've got quite a bit of it from the tablecloth, and I'm thinking that might look really cute to lengthen this, and I kind of like the fullness of this. So I'm trying to decide if I want the fullness in the front or the back. And the back with the t-shirt piece, I do like that at the bottom. So now I'm going to have to think about this a little bit. So I do like the t-shirt piece on the bottom, but it's like, okay, is that too different? I think that if I'm going to unpin this, I'm going to bring the ruffle around the back, put that t-shirt piece on the bottom of the ruffled part, and then see if I like the t-shirt better on the front or the back. Because the ruffled makes it a little fuller, and I like the fullness more in the back, I think, than the front. So I'm going to repin it and check that out and see how it looks. This would be the back. Then I would have this. I probably would leave it that same length and put pieces of lace on either side to extend it. So that would be all one piece in the back. It'd be longer, and it'd fit a little better there. I just have it pinned to the mannequin so I can see the length. And then down here, that'd be lace that would extend around to there. And I'm thinking I could probably bring the lace even around to the front if I want it to be the same length. Or maybe I would just kind of, I don't know, I haven't decided about the front yet. If I want to put lace on there, leave it shorter in the front, longer in the back. But I do like the way these colors look together. I think they look, you know, pretty neat. And I might put a little piece of lace around the waist, maybe like a peplum. But I'll have to see, because it looks kind of distorted because I have it pinned to the mannequin there. So we shall see. But I do like that. I like the solid in the front, and I like the ruffled in the back. That gives you a little more interest. And I think there's more pink in the back, yeah, along with the orange, just like this is pink and orange. And then I do like to have that t-shirt piece repeated on the back. So I think for pinning it up, that looks pretty good. Extending this with some lace on either side, I think that looks pretty good. So I think I have it going, and I'm going to see how that t-shirt piece, how I put that on there. It'll naturally ruffle up because this is already ruffled and gathered. So I like the way that looks. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I love the colors on this. All right, so I'm going to go back, put these pieces together with the lace. Then I'm going to sew them onto the t-shirt top, and I'll bring you back and show you what the finished product looks like. Oh, and I'm going to put pockets on it too, and I have this piece that'll do with the pockets. This was the bodice of the shirt. It was just a stretch bodice, and I'm going to take this and cut it in half, make a couple of nice sized pockets, and I'll put them on this side, you know, right here, right above the white there on the side, and I'll use this white for that, so there'll be white on the pockets. And I am happy to say it turned out beautifully, I think. And if you look at the pockets, I've got the ones with elastic at the top, so they're rounded pockets, and I put lace on the bottom back. Look how cute that is. And it's just perfect. It's 50 inches long, and I love the ruffle. Turned out to be the right thing. And there's another pocket. So I am very, very pleased with this piece. This is a work of art. It took probably 3/4 of a day to make totally. Not too bad.